We are chasing some cows up the hill. This is Jade and Leo's first cattle drive. My niece and nephew.
We got her.
What are you trying to do?
These are staying home. They had really early calves, and they're good mothers. They gave all their milk, and now they're thin. So I'm going to hold them back, and we're going to trailer them to the end of the road so they don't have to walk as far. So probably in a week or so, we'll do another little cattle drive with whoever can make it, and we'll bring those last two over. Okay. Are you staying out there, Eivin? Well, we're going to call it Leo.
Leo.
Yeah.
A little troublemaker.
I got my kids and my grandkids with me, and Eve, and it's a wonderful day for me. The first day of cattle drive. It's seeing everybody, all the kids, everything.
I think there's a lot of excitement that first day, you know, and there's a lot of anticipation about what's going to happen and what's going to not happen.
So, guys, Eivin is most familiar with this, probably Levi somewhat, but almost every year there's a problem with a calf. One calf goes somewhere else, and Leo and Jade and Finley, what a calf does when it gets lost from her mother, it goes back to the last place it was with the mother. So if we lose a calf, it'll probably want to come back to the corral, which is a pain in the ass because the cows will want to go to the head of the bay, and then so that becomes a problem almost every year. So the best of all these decades of doing cows that I've found out is just to let them out slowly, stop them right here. We'll hold them right here if we can, and all the cows will come out and we'll get all the calves out. So the calves are all with the mothers, and right around where that truck is and stuff, those cows are going to be just crazy with the grass, so they'll be busy. And we'll have a couple of people up front to keep them from going, Yahoo! I'm out of here. So that'll be what we do first.
I see the evolution of the cattle drive over the many years and letting the cows out of the barn, so to speak, out of the yard there. Really, you know, I think we've streamlined it in a lot of ways to make it simple and make it happen and keep it moving along at a pretty good pace so that we don't run into too many snags.
Yeah. I think if people could watch, you know, even the last 15 years of some cattle drives, you would see variations, and it's still a learning curve.
Yeah.
Once we got all the calves out, then we're going to let them go down to the bottom of the Yule meadow. That's Great Grandpa Yule's meadow. We're going to close that gate so they can't go out. We're going to hold them there. When they're all gathered up and ready to go, then we'll put them in the big meadow. And we're just going to pig them down in stages. That way they don't damage the meadows so much, and it's a little bit more controlled mayhem.
That's how you start a farm truck, not easily. I'm gonna park this excavator. I'm gonna move it up here. This is a little bit of a hole in the fence. I'm gonna call this a fence. And my dad's gonna move it. He's gonna start it up and move it so that it blocks this hole in our fence here, so it's less likely that cows are gonna go down into that area. See, that's how, now we just used heavy equipment, an old broken fence panel,
That's right.
excavator bucket, and old trailer to turn it into a fence.
Check it out, Leo. Come here. See what I did? I built a fence out of the machine and this. See there? And then that, so the cows can't go through here. So it's kind of a temporary fence.
That panel's just set there, which obviously it could fall down, but with cows, with most livestock, visual is 90%. As long as they think they can't go through there, they usually don't push it and try to go through there.
No matter how ready you get, you're never ready. There's always something somebody forgot before they left on the camping trip. And that's the same way with these cattle drives, and so they're never perfect.
When you're chasing cows out of a pen, a lot of it has to do with pre-positioning, making sure you're in the exact right spot to keep them from doing what you don't want them to do. So it's all about kind of presence and pushing them. You kind of hold a presence in a certain area and they're like, oh, I'm not going to try to go that way, and I'm going to go the way that is the path of least resistance. And so you try to provide a hole in your fence of people, so to speak, where they're like, oh, that's the direction I can go to escape. And that usually works pretty good. But every once in a while, the problem always comes from a calf that tries to go somewhere you don't want it to go. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, they're going. All right, the cows are on the move. We got them moving on from one area.
Leo, get in. Let's go. Sit down. Hi, Sparrow.
This is right on time.
Okay, huh?
It's right on time.
That's right. Bruce Willard would say, on the first.
It was really neat watching Finley drive his cousins around in the side-by-side. And there's a moment kind of going through this footage when I was kind of looking at what was there, there's a moment where Finley's, telling one of his cousins something, and he was like, you better not do that, there's going to be consequences, and he's like, he's taking this very authoritative role that I don't see very often with him, but it was pretty cool. And it was neat. Yeah, it was.
Levi, you know how you test to see if these fences are working? You got to pee on it. I don't think I'm going to convince him to do that. I think he knows better than that. Don't fall off that edge there, bull. This bull's got a little bit of a death wish. He's pretty close to the edge here. And look at this. That's 400 feet of not quite straight down, but close enough that a cow can't stop if they get going. At this point, all the cows are down in the meadow. This is where we're going to leave them for the night. We took them down to a lower meadow, but there ended up not being good enough water source down there. So we brought them back up here where there's plenty of water in the pond. And we're going to leave them here for tonight and come back tomorrow and chase them to the beach and push them to the head of the bay. So I'm riding Violet today. And Violet is like a 6-year-old mare, well, filly, because she's still never given birth. But she's a really good horse. She's very smart, but she's real antsy. This is her first real big ride of the year. And so she's kind of acting up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't try bucking me a little bit at some point. We'll see. We're just getting up to the cows now. So this is the cattle drive. Every year of my life, we've done a cattle drive. I haven't participated in every one, but they happen every year.
They kind of feel like a coiled spring, it's like, they're kind of like, they're hard. Horses are hard, I think, in the spring for kind of that first big ride of the year, and I think, unfortunately, I would have liked to have taken them for, maybe like 3 or 4 rides before that day. But I think regardless, even if I had done that, like that anticipation of they know they're going to chase cows and they know it's something different than just like a ride across the homestead. So they definitely have some excitement, but the other side of that coin is I'm glad that they were a little bit out of shape, because that coiled springness they wore out pretty quickly, I think, and they started to kind of get into a little bit of a rhythm that that was manageable.
Here they come. Ooh, she's real antsy. Real antsy. She loves cows. Plus her auntie just went ahead without her, but she didn't like that very much. Horses are very much a herd animal, you know, and so they like staying together as much as they can. There's Sparrow and Jade, my daughter and my niece. You guys are good, don't worry. We just left the herd a little bit here and we're taking another trail down in case the cows decide to double back. Then we're kind of pre-positioned to keep them going the correct direction. Come on. Come on. Hey, come on. There's a trail here. Come on. Good girl. That a girl. It's a real steep trail here. So this horse's name is Violet, but she got nicknamed Violence, which I think is funny because she's really not violent at all. When my dad was a kid and he used to do this cattle drive, he didn't have a horse. He was about Sparrow's age, probably 10, 11, and he would just walk all the way chasing the cows. 30 miles one way. That's people from a different time right there is what that is.
Well, I've been going to the head of the bay ever since I've been about 8 years old.
Wow.
We only had one horse.
70 years yet. It's
Yeah.
63, something like that. 62.
Damn good 6
60.
decades.
Yeah. Wow.
And when we started, we had one horse, and only the boss got to drive the horse, and that was rarely Dad. Most of the time it was Mossy or Ott, so I ran along.
Huh. Yeah.
So I did a lot of running
Yeah.
because the horse don't move slow.
Yeah. A lot of running.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine that. 8, 10-year-old kid running all the way ahead of the bay and back.
That's a long ways. Keep in shape.
Yes, sir. Put in my 10,000 a day early.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, we just got down to the beach, and from here it's about 6, 7 miles to kind of the next spot where you can drive vehicles down to the beach. And then from there it's another bunch of miles up to the head of the bay. So now that we're on the beach, the cows, most of the old mother cows, they pretty much just know where they're going. They've done this trip so many times, they know the deal. For all the calves, it's all new. But most of the mother cows, they'll just walk their way all the way up there now. But it definitely helps to have somebody go along. You know, there's the risks for these cows are, there's always the potential that somebody poaches one. There's also the risk that you lose one, get stuck in the mud. There's some mud spots. We've had that happen before and have to pull them out. So it's pretty important that we kind of go along and help them along their journey. So I'm on my way back up the hill now to the homestead with these 2 horses. I'm gonna swap one of them out for a fresh horse, and then I'm gonna trailer them on the road over the top and bring them down a different way. Horses are the perfect vehicle for that, and we're gonna need them to have a little bit of energy, so we're gonna spare them from the drudgery of the long miles up the beach.
Got the cows to the Fox Creek Corral, nice and dry, gonna let them be here tonight. Gonna go back to the switchbacks. Friend of mine, Jane Houston, gonna loan me her truck, gonna go home, gonna bring some hay out in the morning, and Ivan and I will come out with horses and bring them on across the rivers. So, gonna go home, head to the barn. See you tomorrow.
But today's a new day, and we just got to get them up here a bunch more miles and across the rivers, and that's where they'll spend the summer. So we're getting into it now.
Oftentimes we spread it out over the course of multiple days, and trying to figure out where you're going to have things always seems like a little bit of a struggle, you know, how to get horses here and four-wheelers there and make sure your horses aren't too tired to make the trip. It seems like it's always a challenge to try to figure out the logistics of how to pull this thing off.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the biggest part of it. It's my biggest stress is talking to people, arranging people, getting them to show up more or less when I think they should be there without wasting their time and making them wait, but to be helpful. The wheelers, the horses, the fences, the gates, the food, you know, the pack saddle, everything is a huge part of the job. And that was that way for Discovery too.
Yeah. I would say with Discovery, it of course made it a lot more complicated because you had even more people and more four-wheelers and, you know, more moments for things to get hung up, and you know, and it would ultimately take longer because when you're filming something, boy, does it take a lot longer to do it.
Okay, now it's time, Dusty. Better get in the lead there, girl. Come on, bully boy. Come on, bully boy, move it. Yeah, they know where they're going now.
We're on our way now. The cows are out of the pen, and they're a little bit ahead of us, but it won't take us long to catch up to them. I'll tell you what, I haven't ridden a horse much in a while, and I am feeling it in my rear end.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
I'm not feeling it yet. Okay, here we go.
We got the cows across the river. This is where they'll spend the summer. There's plenty of grass up here for them to graze on, and we don't have to worry about it, which is pretty nice. And feels good. You know, we have filmed and been a part of filming cattle drives for almost 15 years now at this point. And we're never really able to capture kind of the majesty, the grandness of the head of the bay. You know, obviously we can't bring people in, we can't bring the smells in, we can't bring in what it feels like to be pelted in the face by rain and have cold hands while you're sitting on the back of a horse. You know, I would say it's a very visceral feeling of wildness and wild space.
That's what life's about. You get a partner, you get a mate, you get your kids, you get your friends, you go do things together so you can share those experiences together. So I feel like that's my motivation. Is I got a crazy ass world, and this year we did a cattle drive together, and I want to share that with my kids, with you, with my spouse, with the audience. You know, hey, we're doing cool stuff, and you need to go out and do more cool stuff. Making memories.
Making memories. My dad's horse just ran away without him. He had to go running down the beach. Way down there.
I thought I could. By the time I got my camera set up on the side of that river, by golly, I guess I needed the exercise. Whoa. So I'm got something to tell you. Never leave your horse unattended. You could be in for a long walk home. Many a cowboys have. And I can say this, it ain't my first rodeo. Unfortunately, it might not be my last. Wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna learn from his mistake. Haven't been on a cattle drive in a few years, so it's nice to be up here with my dad. And
Nice to be up here with you, Ivan. Thanks for coming.
I know.
Thanks for bringing the kids.
They came for a long ways.
Yeah.
One of these years I'll get to bring them for this part, but you got to go on this part by horse. It's the only real good way to do it. Thanks for coming along on this adventure. You got to come on another cattle drive with the Kilchers. I think it's time to head home.
Yeah, it's about time to head home. Come on.
You snorkeling or what?
Come on. Okay, good girl. Nice, huh?
Yeah, not bad.
Hardly have to get the feet out of the stirrups.
Easy.
Whoa. Not a good time for a horse to Whoa. Yeah. Well, couple cows.
We're gonna have to ride off into the sunset. I hope you guys liked this episode. We had a ton of fun. Something a little bit different. It's time for to ride off into the sunset.
I'm heading for the barn.
We'll see you on the next one.